everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Ravens going up against the Browns. With that, let's send you out to Maitland Summit Stadium, where we say hello to our two broadcasters, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And a look at the man under center, now in his 8th season in the National Football League. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner. Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And they'll run it here. Room here to run. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league. And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's trying to get into the top 5. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense. They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident. And ready now for 2nd and 9. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded. No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit. And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll run the option left, and he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And it's fielded at the 34. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught at the 3. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Their big tight end, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns. What I like about this guy is that even though he played awfully well last week, his team lost, and he said after the game, all the stats in the world mean nothing without winning. That's what he's all about.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Mission accomplished on that throw. Slant, pick up the 1st down. I like how he just put it on the receiver and didn't lead him on that one.
Happened quickly. Defense, not much they could do. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
Yeah, you have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That's a really fine play there, because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Buying time to his left. And some room to maneuver. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So this offense will head back out there. Already an excellent field position thanks to the interception.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd down following the run.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let him run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a 1st down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you...
So this offense will head back out there. They're in excellent field position after the fumble recovery. They go play action here on 1st down. That is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up. Offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. The 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And he will find his man on the outside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And with this drop-off from last week, you know, a guy of his caliber, he doesn't take this very well, does he?
No, not at all. And right now it's a matter of who wants to even be around him at this point and who can be around him, maybe to help him settle down or just to listen to him a little bit and let him vent so he can get it out of his system. It's just such a stark difference from what we saw last week.
Yeah.
You've mentioned many times before how impressed you are with his footwork, his decision-making, his reads. For me, his overall athleticism last week, escaping the pocket and creating big plays. We're not seeing that so far.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 35 that time. And that'll be good for a Cleveland first. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Red zone opportunity. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. So the second consecutive week here that he has been just a minor part of this offense. What's going on?
I think part of that is that defenses now view the tight end position as a major part of offenses. So they game plan for them. More double coverage. Sometimes they take a really good cover player and put him on the tight end as opposed to other positions. Because in the past, the tight end was really just guarded by safeties. And nowadays, it could be a safety, a corner, linebacker. It could be any one of those guys, and maybe more than one of those guys to try and take him out of the game. He's struggling for the 2nd consecutive week.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end is going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments.
we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started? And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Over the block in the back. Offense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So this is the 2nd consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to work his way down to the 16. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He'll buy some time right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their big tight end. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size.
Offense will head back out there, already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So it'll be first down here after the run.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key third down.
Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate.
And the 13-year man puts it through. Time for a break. We'll come. Will head back out there, already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.